What is up, everybody? How's y'all's week been? Let's see, we got some people in here, the house already. Look here, we got Broke Ass Knives. How you doing, sir? Joe, good to see ya. Bobo Schnoggins, haven't seen you in one of my lives in a good minute. How you doing, man? How you doing? El Cap, my brother El Cap. What up? What up? And Neil is in the house. Hello, how's everybody doing? This is great. This is great. Usually I only get one or two of y'all for like the first 10 to 15 minutes, but this is awesome. This is awesome. I don't know how the rest of the country is looking, but my neck of the woods, we are having one hell of a wet, nasty day. A wet, nasty day. And my dumbass rode the bike to work this morning instead of taking the car. And I stayed dry getting there. It was kind of like in between the showers that were blowing through, but coming home was another story. Was another fucking story. I wore my rain jacket. The rain jacket that I absolutely love. It's a North Face jacket. Or the North Face. Where'd it go? Show me the logo. The North Face. It's not North Face, it's the North Face. They even mentioned that because on this website called Expert Voice or Experticity, which is a discount website. If you want to know more about that, if you've not heard of this website, we'll check it out. You'll want to know this. But anyways, they actually train you that it is the North Face, not just North Face. But I love this jacket. One, it's a robust, like good quality jacket as far as materials goes. And it's extremely water resistant. Like the outer shell really repels the water. Even if it's riding on the bike, going 60 miles an hour down the road, this thing kept my torso dry. It kept me dry, even though I was just getting pounded with the rain. I also love that it's Topo. The black and white Topo just looks freaking slick as hell. It's got as many of these better quality rain jackets. The hood is an oversized hood, so when I'm wearing it, it actually goes up over the bill of my hat. So yeah, it definitely gives you quite a large hood. So if you rocking an afro or something, or Mr. Carrot Top type deal, you got plenty of hood to cover the hairdo. But yeah, love that jacket. But the lower half of me wearing blue jeans, just good old American blue jeans. I got soaked. My legs, my socks got just a little bit wet because I was still wearing my boots. But my legs, my pant legs got completely soaked, and my gloves, my hands didn't really get very wet, but my gloves got a little bit wet. But yeah, no, my pant legs were totally soaked. and I did stop at the Walmart to pick up some burgers, and cheese for dinner. So I'm gonna throw some patties, some burger patties on the grill this evening for dinner for me and the kiddos. What'd y'all carry today, knife wise? Anybody buy anything new? Surprisingly, Knife Center actually had some new additions, and particularly one of the fixed blades that we we're looking at, well, I was looking at and mentioned and had Grumpy show off his live last night. A cool fixed blade, great little bushcrafter outdoorsy fixed blade that had I think S35V in for right about $200 with micarta handles and a 4.1 something or another inch blade. Yeah, it was a good blade. Hey Todd, what's up, Todd? Let me see here for a second. We were talking. I forget. Was it last? Yeah, it was last night's live. I'm talking about. I can't keep up with the and Mimo. What's up, Mimo? Let's see. I know I've got in my D files. What? No. I gotta plug in my external hard drive. Desktop. Fun stuff. We were talking about how awesome the northeast coast of Canada is, of Canada, and particularly north of Maine, the area of Canada called Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. And supposedly Todd's got some family up there in Nova Scotia. And yeah, I've been there a couple of times growing up when I was a kid. My parents it's a beautiful, freaking gorgeous area. And there's a bunch of, I mean, out Nova Scotia is kind of sticks out almost like almost an island, damn near an island. But anyways, like 2/3 of its coastline is on the ocean there, and they've got lots of really neat little shrimping towns. And I'm looking for my folder of photos that I have that I think I've got here. Here's one of them. Here's from the last trip that we went to Nova Scotia when I was an older teenager. Let me present day. Not share screen window. Here we go. Photos. Ta-da! See that? So that's on the coastline of Nova Scotia. That's me when I was like in high school, middle of high school, and that's my younger brother next to me there. we're like almost 6.5 years apart. But then I've got another photo of us. Well, that's the Bahamas. That was me in the Bahamas on a cruise ship. There's Scouts Awards. There's my sexy 6-packing flat ass stomach when I was in high school. There's me canoeing, man, and boy could I tan up during the summers. There's Alaska. There's our cruise to Alaska. That's on the other side of Canada. That was my actual car. That was my first car. It's the 2-door Ford Explorer. I think it was a 1998. Yeah. Not a huge fan of Ford, but I loved that thing. That thing was a beast. Like, I did so much with that thing. That's the top of the Colosseum in Rome. There's me playing ball. That's my younger brother being a goofball. That was me with a shaved head. Look how ugly I am with it. Like, I'm not ugly, period. But look how ugly I am when my head is shaved. Yeah, we're doing some flashbacks to let me quit sharing for a minute and look. I don't know if I wanted y'all to see all them photos. All them photos. Oh, here we go. Here's the one. I should have gone in the other direction. That's the direction I should have gone. Let me represent. There. That's another part of Nova Scotia. But they got lots of cool little shrimp boating towns, fishing towns, and just about every single town that we drove through or by or stopped in or whatever, like they like to paint their homes, their buildings and stuff very vibrant colors. Like it looked like the small little houses and buildings and shops and whatnot. It looked like it was fucking an Easter basket. I mean, filled with Easter eggs, like just all those bright, vibrant colors. Which made it cool. It really, really did. Here's me doing some surveying, some land surveying in the military. There's me again, back when I was skinny and young, clean shaven face. Yeah, that's graduating A school. Boy, did I look like a little prick with a stick up my ass. That was high school. That was marching band camp when I got a big old black eye from playing ultimate frisbee. That's out in Arizona, or no, New Mexico, outside of Cimarron, New Mexico, on top of a mountain where it was insanely windy, like windy enough to blow you off the top of the mountain type windy. There was base camp. Well, there's me being howdy. Whatever. Y'all got to see some photos of me that you probably that I'm not so proud of. But yeah, I don't have a photo of us eating. My dad never gave me that photo. I know he took a freaking photo of us at one of the diners in one of the towns eating. Like, we had like baskets and baskets. We probably had about 2 lobsters per person, and they were like full big lobsters, and they were absolutely delicious. Oh, I mean, like, I'm not a huge lobster lover. I don't love lobster, but like when you put a really delicious lobster in front of me, I'm gonna tear that shit up like it's country fried chicken. Oh, yeah, Lunenburg is a good town. There was more than one, but yeah, that's Lunenburg is kind of like ringing a bell in my head as being one of them that we went through. But yeah, oh, that's cool. The wife is from Cape Breton. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go see different parts of Canada, Canada is a beautiful country. It's a wonderful country. In BC, British Columbia, downtown, there's and Todd, you might be able to help me out here. There was like a cathedral, a church that was. I mean, I know the photo because I've seen the photo. I just don't have it. But like, you're standing in the middle of the street and you're looking down the street, and it's like hill after hill that the road goes down, and there's this beautiful cathedral down at the bottom of it with a gold dome on it, and like it was a gorgeous cathedral, and that was in the capital of isn't the capital of British Columbia BC, British Columbia, right? Am I being stupid? Forgive me, I don't know my towns and everything. Oh, it wasn't British Columbia. See, what am I thinking? British Columbia is all the way over there. Where was it? Quebec. It was in Quebec that I'm talking about. And it was in Quebec City. See, Sorry, I was like 7 or 8 years old when this happened, okay? You'll have to forgive me. But yeah, Quebec City in Quebec, I want to say is where this beautiful cathedral was. I've been to British Columbia too, particularly Vancouver. I've been to Vancouver twice. Um, and I've been to Victoria, which is on Vancouver Island. But anyways, like I was saying, Canada's got some wonderful places, gorgeous countryside. Talk about some rough terrain as far as their wilderness goes. Yeah, I mean from Ontario and through Quebec and Nova Scotia was a blast. I loved Nova Scotia. But yeah, one day I'd like to go back there again. If the American government will let me, and the Canadian government, I don't know how hard is it to go up into Canada these days. They made it more difficult than it was 20 some years ago. I don't know. I really have no flipping clue. So, what are y'all drinking today? I picked up a couple of days ago some Benchmark small batch Kentucky straight whiskey, bourbon whiskey, because it's 90 proof. They're actually legally allowed to put the word bourbon in front of the word whiskey. It's still whiskey, but they can say it's a bourbon whiskey if it's at least 90 proof, 90, 100 proof. You can throw the word bourbon in front of it. I don't know. There's a bunch of technical jargon that goes into what makes a bourbon, what makes a bourbon whiskey, and can you use the word bourbon with it, and then whiskey versus gin versus scotch is just, I mean, it's all a bourbon based mixture of stuff, whether you use the wheat or the barley or the malts or whatever, corn corn mash, all that stuff. If you get into whiskeys and bourbons and all that, it's there's some interesting science to it. But yeah, so that's what I was drinking. Ice water. Joe's drinking ice water. Can't go wrong with ice water. I drink probably when I go to work for 4, 5, 6 hours, whatever they give me, what little they give me each day that I go in for. I drink probably a gallon to gallon and a half of water in the first half of my day, because I'm just constantly zipping up and down aisles, dealing with customers, doing all your retail stuff. For the most part, I'm not a lazy retail worker. I like to be able to go home at the end of my day and say that I accomplished something and that I earned more than my paycheck. But at the same time, my first retail job, working at Academy Sports and Outdoors, I learned that pretty much in general, retail stores, big box types retail stores, not your mom and pop stores, but your good size stores, that even if you go above and beyond, it's insanely rare to get recognized and to get anything extra for your performance. Like, it's just, you're not rewarded like you should be. And that's sad and it sucks. But yeah, there we go. See, Todd's the man. He's the man. Let me punch that in and see if I can't pull that up. St. Anne. is all that French shit. Sorry, I'm not bashing the French, but just trying to spell French words, names of places is not fun. A-N-N-E, day, and then what was the rest of it? Todd, B-E-A-U-P, B-E-A-U-P, Dupre, or Dave. I see. I can't pronounce that shit. City, Canada. Yeah, that was it. I think that was it. Let me do images and pull that up. Yes, I want to say that was it. Maybe. It has a statue, not. That's right, a statue and the two towers on each side of it. Yeah. Anyways, it's freaking, it's gorgeous, and the inside is even more insanely beautiful. Is it a Catholic? Cathedral? I mean, that makes sense. Isn't that area very, very Catholic based? But yeah. Anyway, sorry, it's memory lane for me. No, Jay, nobody's going to Quebec, as far as I know, unless Todd wants to go make a trip. But no, I was just talking about how we were talking about food last night in Grumpy's live for just a few minutes, and I mentioned lobsters and how the lobsters up even further north of Maine lobsters, if you go to Nova Scotia, they're even bigger lobsters and you get more for your money. But anyways, so along with having the good old faithful trusty OG Pulse that I've continue to carry and use every day, absolutely love it. Tomorrow I'm going to have to ceremoniously sharpen this sucker for his first time taking it to a stone. I've only bothered to strop it a couple of times here and there since I've owned it. But yeah, so it's gotten to the point where I think I need to take it to the stone and refine that edge just a little bit, because he's at the point after stropping it twice. I think by then it's kind of best to then take it some stones to the edge and just crispify, if that's a made up word. You're welcome. Crispify the edge on it and then strop it for a third time after hitting it with the stone. But the other knife that I carried just yesterday and today, I dragged out my Urban EDC supply Nessie with that Nessmuck blade, good size frame lock, and I'm not a big fan of your pokey stabby type flipper tabs. And this one doesn't bother me too much, but I do recognize that it is one of those that that's is out there a little more proud than my personal preference typically is. But overall, it's a good one. It's a good one, and I enjoy that Nessmuk blade shape. And not so great of a blade shape with that big belly for EDC as far as breaking down, cutting boxes, opening boxes, and breaking down boxes. But it's much more of an outdoorsy knife. So blade shape wise, but nevertheless I really love this thing, and it's a joy to use every once in a while to yank it out and give it a whirl, get a good feel for it again. I forget what the blade steel is on this sucker. What is the blade steel in this? I want to say it might be M390. I don't think they don't label it anywhere on the blade. What the fuck? Why don't they put it on the blade? Yeah, I don't see it labeled anywhere. I'd have to look it up. I forget what blade steel it is. I mean, it's one of your higher end blade steels. I want to say that it's M390, but I'm not 100% positive on that. I don't know. Does anybody have the Urban EDC Ply Nessie? Their little Nessmuk? I say little. It's not little. But anyways, I did kind of reach back, and this is what I've kind of done this week, and what I plan to do next week too, is kind of reach further back in my collection to things that I acquired a good while ago. Not the knives that I've acquired in the last 18 months, but further back, some of my older knives, because those end up getting neglected in my collection because I kind of get caught up in all the newer stuff and enjoy using all the newer knives that I've purchased within the last couple years. And so things like this guy, which is what I carried Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, kind of get forgotten about. I mean, pretty much forgotten about. But yeah, it's a front flipper with a Wharncliffe, sheep's footy blade. Definitely not a Wharncliffe. There's belly to that. There's curve to that blade edge, and it's an S35 VN. It's a Ray Laconico design. Yeah, S35 VN. But the micarta artisan did a fantastic job. I like that micarta. It looks cool, and it's got the texture to it. They got the milled pocket clip, good pocket clip. Ergos are nice. Blade shape is nice. It's a good size. This was one of the, not my first artisan knife, but the first one that I was insanely impressed in the detents. Like, I mean, it just really, boom. I don't know if y'all get to hear that click, but it sucks it in there. It's a beautiful little click, and the action on it is just fantastic. My favorite way to do is to reach around over the top. Is how I like to do this one. But yeah, the Evoke is a sweet knife too. That's yes, Alcap. That's a really good knife as well. Newer knife. What are you talking about? It's not a. It's a full flat grind. Well, not almost full flat grind. You see where the but it's got enough with the texture, with the coating on the blade. I can actually under finger flick it if I want to, because of the texture of the blade and because of the grind. I can get enough friction to whip that sucker out. So this is a nice, very nice knife. Here's something if many of y'all probably possibly didn't know. Monday was our good friend Sharif's birthday. I don't know how old that man is. But yeah, he's about my age. I think he's somewhere around 35, 36, 37, somewhere around there. I think he's maybe a year or two younger than me. Something like that. But anyways, yeah, he has been at it, totally been at it, full-fledged. This dude is Mr. Attention to Details, no skipping over nothing as far as doing his QC work on the kimonos that he's got, which he's hoping to start shipping out this weekend / beginning of next week. So probably, most likely, beginning of next week. So if you ordered a kimono, then you might have it, possibly have it by Friday next week, in a week from now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That is his intentions, and I'm all for it. So, yes, Mrs. Urban is right. I love this man because he is a total ego booster. Man, when he came out with that video and I knew nothing. I didn't expect him. I figured he'd throw some pictures and maybe do a video on it just as a quick little thank you, like a little 3-minute clip. But no, Sharif went all out, and when I watched that damn video, my face was beet red. I was blushing. I was like, dude, I did not expect you to praise me like that. And the funny shit was that Mrs. Irvin, so I got off of work about 40 minutes after he had posted that video. And and so I sat in the parking lot with my motorcycle and watched it. And so nobody really got to see my first initial reactions to it. But so when I got home, I just casually mentioned it to the Mrs. Urban and just pulled it up on my computer here and let it play, and then just walked away and went out to the grill to get the grill going to put dinner on the grill, and just let the video play on my computer with Mrs. Urban. She was laying on the bed, reading her book or whatever, or playing a game on her phone or something. So I just let it play, and she comes out and she says, "He shouldn't have done that. Your ego doesn't need to be boosted any higher than it already is." It was funny. But yeah. So bless that man and all that he's done for our community and boosting my ego and giving me praise. He had given me those boards that I guess were from El Cap, yeah. At Blade Show last year, and he's like, "You're a woodworker, dude. You do something cool with these." And so I kind of, they kind of sat for a little while, and whenever I'd look at them, my gears would turn and thinking about something. And I was like, well, he's got his new knife company. He's got his first design coming out soon enough, and it should do something along so that sparked the idea of making these display boards things and doing the logo on it and everything. I've got a video going over, what I did and how I did it, on my channel, and then he's got his little thank you video where he, gloats about how cool I am, supposedly, or at least how appreciative he was, and so yeah, it's good. It was good. They came out nice. I was pleased with how they came out. It sucks it took so long, waiting for the buddy of mine that's got the CNC machine in order to do his logo on them. Because I was not, I guess, a paying customer. my asking of him to do that got put at the very end of the list and probably got pushed back a little further as he was trying to crank out other projects for paying customers for his little side woodworking side business that he uses the CNC machine for. But yeah, I still have El Cap. I still have the other board. I only used one board out of those two that I did. And it's beautiful black walnut. They're beautiful pieces of wood. So I still have the other board. I haven't made a decision on what I'm gonna do with it yet. If I'm gonna use it for a cutting board, or maybe slice it into thinner strips and use them as inlays for another board, for a larger board, which would look awesome too. So I don't know. It's it'll get used well. It'll get used well. I assure you that. But yeah, so it's awesome how El Cap gave the wood to Sharif, and Sharif gave the wood to me, and then it went back to Sharif in a useful way. It's just great how, you know, gifting several times and becoming something even more useful and grand. It's a beautiful thing. I think it is. But yeah, and I have not ordered. I need to look up the kits or whatever for the a super nice ice cream scoop, because that's what I'm gonna do with that Purple Heart that you gave me. If I believe I mentioned that in a live, maybe a handful of weeks ago. But that's the plans for the beautiful chunk of Purple Heart that she gave me. But I'm gonna make a gorgeous handle for an ice cream, for a high-end ice cream scoop, and that'll be sweet. That'll be sweet because we eat a lot of ice cream, and it'll be a useful tool that I see almost every day because we eat a lot of ice cream, and it'll look gorgeous as a handle for an ice cream scoop. Hey, brand news in the house. What up, man? How you doing? So anyways, as I was mentioning, Sharif and his kimonos about to get shipped out, he, with his diligent process of QCing them, Monday having been his birthday, for one, he ended up cutting himself somehow, and it cut his hand, and and then on top of that, he ended up with food poisoning from something that he ate. So this dude did not have a good birthday. On top of the fact that, you know, nobody really enjoys having their birthday fall on a Monday, but to have one accident, one mishap after another happen, he kind of had a shitty birthday. So, when I was talking to him last night, I talked to him last night and the night before. I talked to him Wednesday night and Thursday night. But yes, I know El Cap. I am fully aware that Purple Heart does require your chisels, to your wood turning chisels, to be very, very sharp, and you have to constantly sharpen them. I am mentally prepared for that. I'm not gonna like it, but I'm mentally prepared. Yeah, Jim, it is. Ironwood is very interesting because I've turned ironwood. Ironwood is a very interesting tree, and it varies drastically what part of the country you get that from. Down here where I live in South Georgia, and well, where I harvested the ironwood that I that I had received. It was kind of in the swampy areas near our Okefenokee swamp that we have here in South Georgia. It was a full-blown swamp. So when I lived in the town that I lived in about 6 years ago, down almost right on the Georgia-Florida line, that's kind of like that town, that area that I was living in was kind of just a hair bit east of the Okefenokee swamp, but it was at the same time it was really close to the coastline. So the neighborhood was that we lived in was kind of like swampy but marshy swampy, because we have the marsh areas there as well. So the way the ironwood trees grew there, they actually grew a lot like our oak trees grow down in this area as well. They tend to have a lot more knots in them, and the branches and everything and the wood grain ends up being a lot more curvy, not straight grain. Whereas if you go to the Midwest and further west, the ironwood ends up being a fairly straight grained piece of wood. The trees grow differently out there. So yeah, so ironwood varies greatly. I want to say that, and LCAP might need to correct me here, but from what I know, Purple Heart, for the most part, in the vast majority of places, Purple Heart maintains a very straight grain almost no matter where you get it from. Like, it's one of those trees that's very reliable, a straight grain tree. The coloration is what changes, and that depends mostly on how much sunlight it receives during its lifetime. Maddie coming in throwing 37 like I'm doing a gall today. No, Maddie, no gall for you. No, I'm just kidding. There actually will be one. I am going to do a giveaway, so y'all nobody go nowhere. So yeah, Jim knows what I'm talking about. He lives in Alabama, so he understands. Yeah, your chainsaw blades can get eaten up. But yeah, ironwood and Purple Heart are very, very tough, solid wood, and they require a sharp blade for sure, no doubt. The piece that LCAP sent me is a very, very nice piece, very straight grained, tight grain, beautiful piece. What's insanely awesome about both of them is when they're dry. Once you dry them out, they're not very heavy. For as dense as they are, you would think that they'd be heavier. Ash is a much heavier, straight grain piece of wood that's not quite as dense as ironwood. Definitely not as dense as ironwood, nor Purple Heart. But yeah, Purple Heart is beautiful as long as you don't let it get too exposed to sunlight, because then it ends up going more brown. You lose the purpley redness, and it becomes brown, and that sucks. So it's important, if you have anything that's Purple Heart, that you keep it in the shadows, in the darkness of the night. You don't want to sit it out on a table next to a window, because the more sunlight it gets, the more brown it goes. Which is interesting, which, kind of cool. The science of that in itself. Cool science, not like the shit science that they taught us in grade school, right? I hated science in grade school. But so, since it was Maddie's birthday on Monday, or not Maddie's. Sorry, it's not Maddie's. It was Sharif's birthday on Monday. We actually had a couple of people who had birthdays this week, didn't we? In our community, I thought on one of the other somebody else's live there was a couple of birthdays that were mentioned for this week. But anyhow, you see how sidetracked I keep getting? Y'all keep getting me sidetracked. It's all y'all's fault. Maddie, it's because you're here. Here's the knife Sharif gave me, sent my way after I got it all cleaned up and bleached up and cleaned the handle scales. Boy, was it a night and day difference in the micarta after I cleaned it up. But yeah, it's a sweet knife. I really, really love that blade shape. And it's kind of got that hydraulic closure too. But I'm going to carry that tomorrow. I'm going to carry this knife tomorrow. Remind myself to set him out. But anyways, so I sent Maddie a birthday present. Or not Maddie. Get the fuck out of here, Maddie. I don't want you in my life anymore. I got your name on my mind instead of Sharif. Oh, Ginger Fisher, your birthday's on the 7th? Cool. Awesome. Me too. I'm poor too. No, not really. I've been saving. I've actually, shockingly, somehow been managing not to spend my money and save what little I'm making from my piece of shit job. Where they don't pay me nearly as much as they should. Oh, fantastic, Dawn. Awesome. Sweet. So for Sharif's birthday, I sent him in hopes of cheering him up a little bit and hoping that his week got a little bit better. Most of y'all know the little Oro little speaker, Bluetooth speaker that also supports your micro SD cards. I know a couple of y'all have won these and been gifted these from moi. So yeah, great, super little speaker. I absolutely love it. I love this speaker. It goes with me all the time to places, constantly playing music off of it. You better not have. Did you really lose it? Ross, come on, man. How do you lose it? It's like a freaking brick. It literally, you'd be surprised how heavy this little sucker is. It's got some heft to it. It is not a backpacking speaker, Bluetooth speaker. This thing has some heft to it. It's more than definitely weighs more than a baseball. Even though it's like almost half the size, pretty much half the size of a baseball. But yeah, it's you really did. You better look for that, jackass. Losing my shit. If you lost it, then that's on you. The beautiful thing, the good news is, Ross, you can pick up another one for next to nothing. When I looked, I was like, because I love the thing. I mean, to me, it's like a no-brainer, great gift because it's a really good little speaker. And who doesn't freaking love listening to music, right? Like, to me, it was a no-brainer to send those out to people as nice little gifts. But right now on Amazon, the red one happens to be, let me share so you can see it. It is for the red one. It is $18.99, so it's $19. But look, you get a 40% off coupon. So that makes it like $13. $13. How awesome is that? Less than $13. It was less than $13. So yeah, less than $13 for this badass little speaker. When I was getting these things for you guys, as the giveaways, I was usually spending, $14, $15, $16. Usually they were like, $17 with a 20% off coupon. The blue one, let's see here, is $18 with a 10% coupon. I don't understand. If you want the the gray one, which I know the photo makes it look black here, but it is not. It is definitely a gray. It is like it's a nice shiny, like in this photo you see it's more gray. Here. That's the gray that it is, cuz I've seen it in. But anyways, and then they got a purple one with a 30% off coupon. But yeah, the best deal right now is the red one. So yeah, and the red one's cool. I like the vibrant red that it is. But yeah, so that is today's giveaway. We are doing the red one for today's giveaway. So, are you ready? Are you all ready? We're gonna if I can find a damn piece of paper again, because I can never seem to find myself a piece of paper. All right, got my paper. Oh, Maddie, you don't get to change your number. You guessed 37 already. You're locked in. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the web one. That's right, Jim. The web one. The web one. Do I got about roughly close to 20 of y'all? I'm eating the non-Girl Scout tagalongs, the Walmart brand tagalongs. I trimmed this. If anybody noticed, I don't know if the wife even noticed, and she was kissing me the other night. Y'all stand by as I figure out these whole number things. She says, "Nope, I didn't notice. I did not notice that you had shaved the beard." It was getting to the point where it was like really. Mine does not go straight and beautiful like so many others. It gets really mangy, kind of like Maddie's, and it starts to bother me. It bothers me too much. It irritates the hell out of me. So, and then I look more and more like a pirate, and I am not a pirate. So, yeah. Yup. All right. So let me put up the start, START, and then I'll show y'all the range. So for the web one, we're going to do. Let me go a little smaller so I'm bigger. There we go. For the web one, range is 35 to 155. 35 to 155. Y'all can guess away. One number only, one account only. Sorry, Todd, I am not shipping to Canada for a while now. I just don't want to spend the money that Because, no, no. If it's Amazon, so I shouldn't have any problem sending it to Canada. I don't think that they'd charge me extra. So I don't care where the fuck where the hell you live, you can enter away. Yeah, one guess only, one account only. We don't have that issue here. That seems to be predominantly a problem on some of your bigger channels, like Tri-State and Neves Knives and Bees Blades and what's the other one? The metal, Mr. Metal guy. But yeah, not a problem with. I don't have a problem with y'all. Y'all are my homies. So 35 to 155. We'll let that go. And while we're letting that go, we're going to play some more of the I Wish I Didn't Know. As we let it go, we're going to wish we didn't know. Oh, Sharif's little music ditty that whoever created on Instagram in the Kimono group. That was priceless. That was beautiful. I read that a couple of times over. But all right, let's give this a go. We'll do a handful of these while you guys put your guesses up of the range of 35 to 155. All right. First one is, being a small business owner in ancient Egypt wasn't easy. Any baker caught cheating, a baker, so bread baker, caught cheating customers. If they cheated the customers, they got what? A, their business burned down. That would suck. B, hung in the center of town. If you're hung all the time, what does the center of town have to? Anyways, C, sodomized with a baguette. Okay. Or D, their ears nailed to their shop's front door. So if you were in ancient Egypt, a baker cheating their customers. Oh no, any baker caught cheating customers. Yeah, any baker caught cheating customers. That's what it says. Are they talking about the bakers or are they talking about the customers cheating? Which one was cheating? The baker or the customer? I'm guessing the baker because of the right answer is D. Their ears nailed to their shop's front door. So I'm the customers' ears or the shops? I don't know. I think honestly all four things should have been done. I mean, maybe I'm a little harsh on punishment, but burn. I would have them be hung in the center of town for like a day, and then sodomized with a baguette, and then their ears chopped off and nailed to the shop's front door, and then burn down the shop. Is that a little too harsh? All right, let's do another one. This might help you like rats even more than you already do. Wait, hold on. What? This might help you like rats even more than you already do. Who the fuck likes rats? Who likes rats? Other than snakes? I don't know of a human that likes rats. But anyways, if you're a rat lover, you might enjoy this even more. Either A, they can tread water for up to 40 hours. That makes sense. They live in the sewers. B, they like to have sex with other species. Gross. C, they can actually laugh. Or D, mama rats train babies to avoid traps. Well, you can take D out of the mix because that's not obviously not true. No kidding, Hellcat. She had a pet rat. Maddie says they laugh. No. Can they laugh? Can rats actually laugh? I know donkeys laugh. I love watching that little video clip that's all over social media of the donkey laughing at the dog that gets shocked by the electric fence. That shit's hilarious. The donkey just cracks up. Made that donkey's damn day. Watching that dog get shocked by the electric fence. Every couple months, I like to watch that video, and I'll watch it 2 or 3 times. As long as it's about a month or so apart between watching it, it's a good laugh. So Maddie, being such a schoolboy, stellar student that he is right. He is right. They laugh. No joke. Rats laugh. So if you like rats, they love a good joke, apparently. All right, we'll do one more, and then we'll wrap up the giveaway. The giveaway range is 35 to 155. If you don't know. We had, and it wasn't a rat, it was a mouse at the Boy Scout summer camp that I worked at for like 4 or 5 summers up in North Georgia. I think 5 summers. There was one of the guys that worked on the staff. He had a pet mouse, and this pet mouse was like a very trusting pet mouse because he would go and hang out on anybody's shoulder. Like, this thing was like totally chill, and we loved it. It was a blast having this little thing. Just run around and just hang out with us and get little treats and snacks and stuff from us. And yeah, they just hang out with you. I had it sit through a whole class. I'd teach a whole class for an hour and 20 minutes. I'd teach a class, and this rat would just hang out with me and my students. So yeah, it was fun. Cute little mouse. No, I don't like that one. I'm looking for a good one. Let's pick a good one. I don't even know who. Does anybody know who Clara Meadmore? Clara Meadmore lived to be 108 and died with this distinction. I don't know who this old lady was. And what she was so important for. Either A, world's oldest working stripper. All right. B, world's oldest cocktail waitress. C, world's oldest virgin. Or D, world's oldest construction worker. The answer is not what I was thinking. I was thinking the oldest working stripper. I thought that would be awesome and hilarious at the same time. But no, she lived to be 108 and she was a virgin. Answer C. World's oldest virgin. 108. How the hell was she not a saint? You live over 100 years and never have you cherry pop? How are you not labeled as a saint at that point? Like, how? Like, that's a no-brainer to me. Like, you automatically get the title. You live past 100 years old. Would you smash at 108? Why not? Stripper at the musty, dusty pole. Good genetics. Too bad for the human race that she was never bred. Yeah. Yeah, that is one good way to look at it. Nice to see you in here, Space Ghost. Welcome, welcome. Gentrification. She had daddy issues, which was God. Oh, bro, that's terrible. What did Maddie say? Or B&A? Until she met me. Okay. All right. So Brand New was right. See, I was thinking the same lines of Maddie, that it was the stripper was the right answer. But all right. Y'all, that was a good last one. We'll have enough of that. More next week. More of those next week. See, isn't this kind of a fun game? All right, everybody, say goodbye to the wife, or my wife. Say goodbye to Mrs. Urban. She ain't your wife. She mine. She got to get back to work. Oh, come on. Have more respect. Have more respect. How dare you, you naughty bastard. All right. Let me put the ones that we've done in the pile in the back so we don't have repeats. Gotta be a good boy and put things away. There we go. All right, so Space Ghost, did you get in on the giveaway? Giveaway range is 35 to 155 for one of these awesome little speaker deals that I can send to you at no shipping cost via Amazon's Prime shipping, which is good for me and good for you, because otherwise it's snail mail and it might take up to a week or 2 weeks if you live somewhere weird. What did I do with the lid? Oh, it's on the floor right here. The lid to my box. Yeah, Todd, there's oh shoot. Who was it? There is there's a famous person. I think they were an actor where his father, Matthew McConaughey, in an interview, and I watched it just a couple days ago. I don't know why. I was that bored. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Maddie. I don't know what you're talking about. The most expensive knife that I own currently is my Harsey. That's my most expensive knife that I own. I have not spent quite as close to the $540, $550 that this price point is. But yeah, so Matthew McConaughey's father died, had a heart attack, having sex with his wife. Doing it with the missus. That's how he went out. And so yeah, that is an awesome way to go. That is one hell of a way to go. Losing your virginity the same day you die. Just not necessarily virginity, but having sex, going out, having sex. Can't complain there. I'd take that any day and every day as a way to die. This was a knife that I carried today. I bothered to carry a Benchmade. So Zach would be proud of me. Because I think the last time that I popped in one of his lives, I was talking smack about Benchmade and saying that Spyderco was so much better. But yeah, this is the Benchmade Seibu. It's Japanese design, as you can see on the blade there. Maker's mark is his little Japanese signature thingy. But yeah, it's kind of got like a sodbuster type blade shape, and still has the access lock, and then it's got the Bola wood inlaid in G10 for those windows, and those are like your traditional Japanese windows, like windows on a Japanese house are done with those ovally pill shapes type shapes for their windows. So yeah, and the word Seibu, and then the back spacer kind of is supposed to resemble a bamboo stalk. Yeah, so bamboo back looking back spacer. And then what's also cool is the little swirls that they did on the hardware, on the heads of the hardware, and including the access lock has a little swirl to it. So there's lots of little kind of hidden details about it within, and they even did the Kookaburra wood in the thumb studs. So yeah, so I mean the word Seibu supposedly translates into English as detail. So which is very fitting for the sake of the fact that the designer of this knife put lots of little details into his design. And this is probably has to be one of Benchmade's knives. They're one of their production knives that is so damn close to the original knife designer's custom design. Like they barely changed anything. They basically just said, "Hey, we can do that on a production level exactly the way that he did, and the designer did it in his custom." So, yeah, for being a Benchmade and being almost identical to the designer's custom knife is saying something for what Benchmade is at least capable of doing. They're capable of doing that. And that's all we're gonna say. We're not gonna bash Benchmade because I could bash Benchmade. But all right, let's go. Where'd I put the piece of paper with the number stuffies on it? Oh, I lost my paper. Where did it go? I don't know what I did with it. Did it fall on the floor? I lost the paper. All right, never mind. We ain't doing the golf because I lost the paper. I don't know where I put the paper. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. Woo! Lucky for y'all. All right. So with the range being 35 to 155, the winning number was 81. So who's my closest to 81 without going over? Can we scroll back up and figure this out? Y'all help me. Maddie, you're in charge. I know you don't have a wrench, but you're in charge. Who won, Maddie? Who's the closest to 81? Don't lie to me. B&A, you're my second in command to Maddie. You're my other right hand man guy. You're my make sure Maddie doesn't lie to me. Who is the closest to to 81 without going over? I'm scrolling. It's going to take me. Y'all are going to catch it before I do because I'm just slow with that shit. Dane Ross, 143 for Don Ray. Not close. Gons had 69. Joseph, you were a few over with 86, man. Bam. All right, so Don Ray said 69 for Dang Ross. And then Gons said 69. 60. Todd did 65 for Jim. 78 by Bobo Schnoggins for Space Ghost. Is that our closest? Ginger Fisher was over with 89. Oh, Brand New said 78. So I've got 78 for Space Ghost and 78 for BNA. I think those are it. I think our 78s are the closest. We're gonna have to do a well, in this case it's a speaker off, not a knife off. uh so you two fellas are tied. So before I spend forever doing a tie-breaking thing, oh Joe, you had 77. Yeah, that's close too, but they had 78. So Jim, you peacing out? Alrighty. Have a good one, bro. Yeah, Bobo, you're gonna defer to BNA? You sure? He gets a lot of. Wait, BNA, did I not send you a speaker? Have I not sent you a speaker? I don't know if I have. If you haven't, then you gotta have one because they're cool. They're fun. Let me check. I would know by my addresses. Well, obviously, the first one I bought, I sent to myself. And then the next one that I picked up went to Ross. And then, so Ross was the first one to win one of the speakers. And then the next one went to, I forget who that is. I'm not going to say their name. But I forget who that is that lives in out in Texas. And then the next one, oh, I ended up buying a second one as a backup just in case something happened to the first one, but at least I didn't lose it. and then the other one was to, okay, so BNA has not gotten a speaker from me. Yeah, Brand New. You don't win every gall, but you do. Maddie says we must have a fight. All right. I do have so are we is everybody good with Bobo deferring to BNA? Or are we gonna have to do what Maddie says? Maddie says fight. Maddie says fight, 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 fight. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right. All right. B&A's our winner. I'll send it to him. I got his address already, so that'll make it easy on my part. So congrats, B&A. You're gonna love it. Just don't lose it. Just don't lose it. But all right, I'll get that to you. It'll be on your doorstep in a handful of days because it's Amazon shipping, not me. That's also one of the reasons why I love sending giveaways that are through Amazon to where I don't have to deal with the shipping. Because I've always got way too much going on. I still have not gotten or made, not gotten, but made a display for my sword. Because I've got this bad boy. I've got this bad boy. Viking sword. I've got this badass mofo right here. And it's got a full leather sheath. Big old sheath. It was actually the designer did not make a sheath for it. So this was kind of just a generic sheath in the shop where I bought this from. And it was actually much longer. So I cut it and then sealed the stitching with some good old Gorilla super glue. So it don't look pretty on the end. I could sew like a band around it to cover up that glue and make it look pretty. But what I really want to do is make a display board that this goes on to where it will hang on the wall and have a clear plexiglass front to it so you can see the blade, but yet it at the same time is protected from anything bumping up against it or anybody cutting themselves on it. So yeah, I should take that to work with me. I kind of joked about it with Doom the first night at Blade Show last year about how hilarious would it be for one of us or both of us to even get swords while we're up at Blade Show and be riding on the highways all the way back home with freaking swords on our backs on our motorcycles. Like how funny would that shit be? Passing everybody on the highway. I don't know if it would cut a 2x4 without shattering. I don't know if it's a usable sword. I know it would take care of a baguette. I could chop up some bread with it. Can it skin? It actually surprisingly is very sharp. Like straight up, both edges are dangerous. Like it could be it is a lethal sword. I don't know about skinning a raisin, but it could slice a raisin into little slivers. Like it could dice. It'll slice and dice. But yeah. Yeah, that's really the idea that I had. B&A was just having it looking badass as a display. I do not care for the fact that it's like just a very plain, cheap leather, solid wrapped handle right there. I love the not that it's super detailed, but I love the Viking etchings and the pommel here being all historically fairly accurate to what the Vikings did for their swords back in that time. And that's why I got it, because of my family history with Vikings, dating back to prehistorical Vikings. But I did get a nice leather a strip of leather. I have it right here. I've just not bothered to do it quite yet because I need to soak this one more time and stretch it just a little bit longer. It's got to soak in water for about 20-30 minutes in lukewarm water. And then you basically just pinch it at one end and then attach something with some weight to it at the other end and let it dry with that weight stretching it. So then, because it needs to be stretched about another inch and a half, so that I can do a good wrap job, essentially. Like having it wrapped like this would look way nicer if y'all get the idea. So you have it wrapped like that. That will look much nicer, I think, and that's how I want it to look. That's more true to what their knives looked like. They would either do a leather skinned wrapping like this, or they would actually often do a fur from an animal and cover the handle part with their fur. The fur was for the idea that it would keep your handle a little bit warmer in the colder months that you're using it. But yeah, so I need to stretch this piece a little bit longer, get about another inch to inch and a half of length by stretching it, and that'll make it long enough to be able to do the wrap job on the handle the way that I want it to be done. So yeah. Yeah, I would also like to have a gladiator sword, which is a relatively short sword compared to what this one. This guy's almost, he's like 3.5. He's like 40 inches long. The blade is like 39-40 inches long. Your gladiator swords are more like 29 to 33 inches in length, historically. So he ignores. What's your challenge? What's your challenge? What did I miss, Maddie? You trying to kill me again? Prepare a whole meal only using the sword to cut. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. I could do a cast iron campfire type meal. I could cook a whole meal and do some kind of a pot stew or whatever, and slice all my vegetables and the meat and everything with the sword. That's not a challenge. That's a piece of cake. You could do it, Maddie. You could do it. Anybody could do that. Mrs. Urban could do it. That would be funny to whip out a sword on Thanksgiving in front of like extended family to like cut the turkey, to slice the turkey. That would be pretty funny. I'd be all for that one. I should do that. That would be great. Oh, that would be a good video. I have a video that I actually planned to record yesterday, but I ran into the problem that it was insanely windy outside because we had this storm that blew through today that just got me freaking soaking wet on the motorcycle getting home from work. Yeah, so we've had on and off rain like hard chunks of rain just dump on us all day long today. Just constant rain showers. And you know, fucking hate you, Maddie. I hate you, man. I love you, but I hate you. You're such an asshole. Always tempting me with stuff. Ugh. Yes, dang Ross. Maddie has a sword. He just doesn't have a codpiece yet. Maddie needs a codpiece to go with his sword. I know Maddie has a sword. Shave your man grapes with a sword. Then you will earn Maddie's respect. You have to send pics where it didn't happen. Yeah, okay. That's definitely not happening. See, yeah, Maddie's got two swords. Why does Maddie not have a codpiece yet? Why doesn't he have a codpiece? Now, so I think that's all. I think we're gonna call it a day. I really don't have anything else to share or tell you guys or nothing. At least nothing that y'all want to hear. Dang Ross, have you not seen Maddie's little pocket rocket? It doesn't need a very big cod piece for that one. He doesn't want to wet mold it. And that's funny. Doesn't want to wet mold it. You do, Maddie, you definitely do need a Lancelot leather holster for your pocket rocket. Like that thing's not complete without a holster. You need a leather holster for your pocket rocket. Absolutely. Absolutely need one. For sure. That would make it complete. But all right. Before Maddie does any more dares on me, I think we're gonna call it a day. All right, I'm gonna get the hell out of here before Maddie gets me in trouble. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, what I was gonna say was the video that I wanted to record yesterday because there was so much damn wind, and it was a video that required me to be outside to do it. Hopefully tomorrow's weather, I'll be able to crank it out and make it happen. But yeah. Oh dang. Well, 54 minutes ain't too terrible. Do it or be a chump. But alrighty. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you joining me. At least I did a live that was more than 39 minutes, unlike the Matisfaction not so long of a show that did not happen on Wednesday. No, just kidding. Maddie was tired. You could tell that Maddie was tired. You could tell that dude was tired. And I don't know what's going on with Sad Stevie, why he's so busy these days that he can't do lengthy lives. Yeah, I think a lot of us had a weird week. You had a weird week. I had a weird week. Well, at least my first half of the week was like my first Monday and Tuesday. We had some shit go down that had to do with my wife and her 3 kids and the ex-husband. Those were a couple of really, really rough days. I'm not going to air out all of that on a live, but yeah, those for especially for my wife, that was That was bad. Monday and Tuesday were really, really bad in my house and for my wife. So we're trying to look more positive in regards to what's going on there, and yeah. But nonetheless, y'all have a good weekend. Yeah. And so yeah, and Maddie knows because he knows the story, and Sharif knows the story. And so yeah. All right, y'all take care. I'll see you in other lives through the weekend. Peace out. Love you. Mwah. Have a good one. Bye bye.